There's a brand new morning, rising clear and sweet and free. There's a new day dawning that belongs to you and me. Yes, a new world's coming, the one we've had visions of, coming in peace, coming in joy, coming in love.
Hello, this is Elizabeth Joyce with Visions of Reality. Thank you for visiting my YouTube channel. I would like to talk to you today about the rest of 2021. We have just finished our second year of the terrible 20s. And these past 2 years were very difficult for everyone. But the next few are going to be 5 times that. So I want to, first of all, tell you what I feel is coming, tell you about the energies that are coming, and then give you some nice steps and lessons that you can do, exercises to help you through it all. That's my focus. So please listen to the end of the video, and you will gain some benefits with the exercises being offered. Thank you. Let's begin. At this point in time, which is November of 2021, we are in the eye of a hurricane. November and December lead into the darkness and difficulties of 2022. It's a very important time period. The eclipses coming on November 19th and December 4th are very powerful, and they will have a huge effect on the world. In astrology, the most common saying is, as above, so below. This tells you that astrology in the heavens can help to guide us through what is happening on Earth by simply understanding the energy that they create as the planets move around the solar system. What we are in the skies is what we can expect here. Mars on the sun or the moon represents war. It always has, it always will. And astrology never lies. Sometimes the interpretation does, but the energy is always there to do its bidding, whatever that is. Energy in astrology hits the human body with energy, positive, negative, in between, whatever. Depending on your vibration level and depending on your thoughts, upbringing, and background, you react to those energies. Therefore, you write your own ticket, you walk your own path, and you determine what your life path will be. So again, Mars on the sun or the moon, which is happening now, represents war, violence, endings, and aggression, as well as accidents and problematic weather. I'm always telling my students the energy happens before the action. So, in the aspects as they take place in the heavens, and then they bring the energies to Earth, and then the action happens. Our subconscious mind lies just below the surface of our cognitive mind. And our cognitive mind, our memory, our DNA, our past lives, are all contained in our energy field and our auric field. This energy holds all of life experiences, both past, present, and future. It is said that as we live our lives now, we are creating the lives of our future. Our cognitive memory, our DNA, our Akashic records never forget. So there is a response that maybe you wouldn't understand in this lifetime that you brought over from another lifetime. That information is in your astrological birth chart, which is why good astrologers can read your chart and tell you what the energies are around you today to help you understand what's coming and to work through it with love, peace, and harmony, hopefully. The body, with the help of all of our chakras, both physical and spiritual, always looks for balance and justice. When we don't get that, anger comes and frustration sets in, and it can bring a time of decrease, disaster, ill will, and feeling ill. What you think is what you create. And what you see with your third eye is what you get. So if you visualize that which you want to bring into reality, it's very helpful in creating that to you. During the past 18 months or so, we have been through a time of unrest, and we have not been fighting back. What started all this? The COVID-19 and the change of our lifestyle and comfort zone. Government lockdowns, worldwide travel interruptions, fake news, food supply shortages, job changes, losses, school interruptions, and all kinds of things. Fear has taken over. Hospitals were filled with capacity, along with thousands of deaths. Perhaps by midsummer of 2022, the planets will be in a better place. We could be over the pressures of the vaccine as well. Our adjustment at this time is with our work and work ethics. Going back to work, many people will not be happy. No more breaks, no more stimulus checks, no more influx of foreign people coming across the southern border, and perhaps a new virus to contend with. Also, things will heat up with healthcare. The energies that we're receiving will help promote new ways of working with healthcare and our health. I'm sure that we'll have some wonderful breakthroughs with all this research that's going on. With this research, we could have major breakthroughs, such as Parkinson's, MS, diabetes, some blood diseases, and DNA disorders, and much, much more. We are all looking for better ways and better health insurance. Some major developments will take us up to a higher level of living, but not right away. Fear has been inspiring deep research drive. The core essence of fear is more illness, and intense fear has been put upon everyone around the world. We are facing the fact that we have to take care of ourselves and must do it now. There is no longer any time to decide. Well, I'll look at it next year, or maybe next week. No more time. The time is up. At this point, we should have relocated, change our job if we needed to, and we should be safe in a good environment, hopefully with a nice community and wonderful family members around us. We've had plenty of warning. The warnings have been coming since 2016 and before. Now it's time to buckle down and live through that which is coming our way. Beginning on the October 20th, full moon conjuncting Uranus, the seeds have been planting for a new beginning. By the way, since August, we've all had endings. Endings in friendship, endings in romance perhaps, endings in job, endings in our community where we're living, making decisions to move. There's been all kinds of goodbyes and endings, especially from the people that were not helping you or serving you, especially with the people that were non-supportive. You got rid of all them, and now it's time to open up to the new. New friends, new people, and perhaps a new area to live in. Something unexpected is coming next year, very unexpected. Some of it has to do with health, some of it has to do with work, some of it has to do with finances, some of it has to do with supplies, as well as our food. We can be sure there will be demonstrations, strikes, and the uprising of people. The Sabian symbol for this Mars on the moon is the right wing of the crow. Now the crow represents death as well as spiritual law. Meditate on that and see what that means for you. People are not letting go. They are grasping and holding on to their old ways and have not been awakened to the fact that many, many, many things must change and get cleaned up in order to bring this government system and our core belief system into balance. We have to grow and we have to embrace the changes, including our involvement with others. I'm not saying that we have to break the law. And I'm not saying that we have to embrace things that simply aren't good for us, which is happening. So that's why we have the fake news and the confusion, because good changes are the subtle changes, are the environmental changes that are positive, but not the changes of the will of others who want power over us. There's a difference. Use discernment. At this time, we're being shaken to the core. This has caused hate, judgment, prejudices, especially in politics. So much has been defiled that we need to get things back into balance and order while embracing the new and necessary adjustments. But we do not have to be destructive. We need to be creative. Many corporations have had great business success, but now have fallen out in favor. This is what's happening in astrology. Through November, with the Sun in Scorpio opposing Uranus and Mars also in Scorpio, the energy is building up for something big to explode. And I believe some of that is going to happen on November 19th at the first eclipse. More will happen on December 3rd, 4th at the second eclipse. We are truly going to go out of 2021 with a bang. Remember, this energy is worldwide. Expect earthquakes, storms, accidents, and major issues in government worldwide. Loss of leaders and forced changes in the core of the governments. Many, many nations will have new leaders within the next year. But the rest of 2021 will be the most powerful time of this year. And when we look back on it, we'll realize that. There are major changes. There's bickering, there's upsets, there's lies coming to the surface. We are at the boiling point with everything that has been under pressure for the last 18 months. There are some adjustments and events that should have happened sooner, and some hidden truths will come out that will cause violence. And these truths will be shocking and upsetting and have been going on for a long, long time. They're not new. The solar eclipse on December 3rd will be a strong one. There will be explosions and lots of emotional eruptions, and also possible guns are involved. In some places, martial law will be invoked. Along with that, we'll have storms, earthquakes, hurricanes, and weather crises in very unlikely places. More accidents, deaths, lockdowns, vaccine and virus issues, as people worldwide will begin to become undone. They've just about had it with all of this change. Somehow, some way, there needs to be a breather. The first 2 weeks in November have been under harsh aspects. The heavens and astrology has been askew. When people become intensely angry and revolt, the earth reacts. Leaders will buckle under pressure. We all have had many forced changes, so much so in such a short period of time. So this works on our central nervous system, and it works in our buffer zones and in our subconscious. And then we absorb it and absorb it and absorb it. It's like the balloon blowing it up too much, and then it bursts. That's what's coming. People have been wondering and worrying about the lack of goods for the holidays, when they should be focusing on becoming centered, being thankful, and making the necessary safe changes that they need to make at this time, along with some gratitude. Get out of the cities. Get out of the cities. I heard that back in 1998 and 99. Get out of the cities. They will be closed off and closed down and far too expensive for most of us. Get out of the banks. Get out of the banks. They're going to steal your money. There have been laws passed that people are not aware of, where the banks will be able to debit your money, call it taxes, and the money won't be returned. Well, what can we do, people say? I'm suggesting that you look at gold and silver, or even some of the cyber coins, as well as get yourself into a credit union, a good community-run credit union. Get yourself a generator and some electric heaters. Stock up for the winter months and make sure you have plenty of water. Don't go into crowds. Don't participate in riots. But lay low. Stay in meditation and prayer as we go through these next 3 or 4 months. Nothing is going to be the same on the other side of this energy, which should be after mid-February through the spring. Nothing will be the same. So prepare for it, buckle down, hole up, and meditate. And you will make it through. And you might be surprised at some of the insights you'll gain by doing this. They could be very lucrative and very productive. December 2021 brings the grand finale. Around December 15th, Saturn squares Uranus for the 3rd time this year, and it will be lightly squaring it through 2022 and 2023. So it's not just at this time, but this is called an impact, where they are the closest together that they will be over this time period. A breakdown of the old rings in the new year. November, people hang on to the same old, and their daily routines. You're taught to hang on to what you need to hang on to until you have something new to grab. That's been the basis of our life. But now we have to just let go. Let go, get centered, and allow to come in that which is meant for you, because it will. I know it's hard to drop the fear, but you need to take a look at what's really happening here. We are in major changes. The planets are supporting the changes. There will be mistakes made. There will be horrible things happening, but they will be resolved. It all takes time, and it's definitely a process. You know, it's funny. People don't change unless they're forced to do so. And this comes to a head. Remember that we have to go through this fire in order to get through the other side. We're coming to a place of peace, balance, harmony, and love. But first we have to erase and eradicate hate, prejudice, I'm going to hurt them before they hurt me, selfishness, greed, and lethargy and depression. We have to go within and find ourselves, love it, and build it strong so that we can face the future under any challenges and come out on top. So what's behind all this? A realization of the truth is what's behind all this. Who is behind all these upsets and changes, and who is trying to destroy us and take our freedoms away? The new revelations that are about to be exposed is a wake-up call for the world, because it's not just in the United States, it will be everywhere. As for our world leaders, very few of them, have a higher level of consciousness. There will be several world leader changes in 2022. This will manifest and come out into the open, along with lies, deceit, problems with finances, how things work, move, payoffs, porn, greed, along with life threats and even murder in some cases. We are being shown that the true power is within us. The power within us, which we need to learn how to work with in order for us to let go. Going within, connecting with our light bodies, reframing and rephrasing your inner desires, and letting go, and then you can manifest. On December 21st, 2012, we became empowered. The energy of all the disruptions that we're feeling was brought in at that time. That was the gift from the universe. Now it's time to accept that energy, accept our transformation, and begin to work with it. Looking for new talents and finding ways to bring them into our lives and allow our normal, natural inner strength to grow. All of us were gifted for some reason. All of us were brought to this planet with wonderful talents that we may not have been able to dig down and find and work with. Now they're coming to the surface. I think that's a beautiful thing. On December 30th, Mars crosses the 18th eclipse degree. This brings an action This brings war, fighting, upsets, fear of lack, and danger. Do not go to any large gatherings on New Year's Eve. Time aspects are at the most dangerous point of the zodiac for those 3 days, December 30th, December 31st, and January 1st. They're extremely dangerous. So be guarded, be careful, and be safe. The power of Uranus and Pluto will be activated with the November 19th eclipse, which is next week, next Friday. This will last through December of 2023. We have entered a time of revolution and revelations. This energy is making major moves. Saturn and Uranus in square will bring facts to the light and unexpected changes, sudden, quick, and fast. Now this happens every 12 years or so. And the last time we had this energy with Uranus was in 2002. So think of where you were in the fall of 2002, and it might give you a hint of some events that will be forthcoming this fall of 2021. This aspect of Uranus will be very powerful. This causes major events. I know I've said that several times. There will be major events, change, and sudden upsets. There will be problems with airports and aircraft, as well as rumbling under the earth. This is a time of revelation, and a lot of people may not be ready for it. And another thing, Uranus rules cryptocurrency. This is the way of the future. This is the way of the future. That doesn't mean that we'll have cash eliminated. It means we're going to have a new way of financial exchange. And it will affect everything, especially the banks. And you know, and I know, that they do not like change. Now, let's add rebellion to the list. Rebellious upsets are the norm during change. We have outgrown something, and we have to break free. We are birthing a whole new world, and we are setting up for the last and final square of Uranus with Saturn. This is a wake-up call. This is a birthing process. Nothing comes that's really worth it without some pain. No pain, no gain. Will it be worth it? Is all this really good for us? Absolutely. If you can't handle change, then you're going to be miserable. It's time to surrender. And as we do, we have to let go of the need to be in control. Then, and only then, can Spirit come through and clean things up and bring you your desires. There's a new world coming for you and me, I promise. At this point, the 15th of November, we are well within the eclipse energy. A strong Uranus continues squaring Saturn. Mercury opposes Uranus at 13 degrees Taurus. The moon moves into Aries late on the 15th into the 16th. People could be feeling quite angry. As Pluto moves into Aquarius in 2022, the Capricorn, from the top down authority, changes to consciousness authority as the people take to the streets and demand times to change. We've all had to go to our boss or ask a superior before we could take an action. Now we're going to go with the community, with our families, with our loved ones, and everyone in action. That's pretty neat. Mars is another culprit here. It's activating the Saturn-Uranus square. And by November 17th, things will get heated up. Mars says, act, 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 act. Go, 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 go. Take the action. Do it, do it. By the 17th, just before the eclipse, Mars opposes Uranus, and this is a classic and sudden upset and war. It's a strong sign of an earthquake. This energy will continue to erupt as it moves along. It can no longer be constrained. It's too powerful. Uranus is a sign of revolution, rebellion, and awakening. Everything can erupt at this point. Political, literal, people, or behavior, and earthquakes. And this energy runs right into this partial lunar eclipse that we're having on the 19th. at 28 degrees Taurus. I'm telling you the degrees because they're all critical degrees. Our critical degrees for new beginnings are the 0, the 1, and the 2. Our critical degrees for the endings and finalities are 28 and 29 and 0. We are about to have 7 full moons in a row at a critical degree. And this one is at 27 degrees Taurus, which is about feelings and emotions coming to a head. There will be a lot of rebellious people in the U.S. at this time. The last time we had a Taurus eclipse square Uranus was in November of 2002. Go back and look at that time and see how it affected your life. Feelings will be running high regarding the earth, climate change, finances, and the economy. We have barely begun our USA Pluto Return, which goes into effect on February 20th, 2022. This is a disruptive time for this country with many strains, changes, upsets, and sudden losses. We signed the Declaration of Independence on July 4th, 1776 at noontime in Philadelphia. So we do have the chart of the beginning of the United States of America. And that's how we know about this Pluto return, which takes 220 some odd years to be created. Well, we're in it now, and it will change everything about the backup of the country. It will look at our Constitution. It will look at our Declaration of Independence, and it asks the question, did we do it right? Was this good for everyone? What did it bring the world? What did it bring its people? It brought its people freedom. It brought its people belief in a higher power. And it brought its people the ability to think for themselves and be independent. God bless America. The Pluto return will be felt through 2022 and 2023, with the ending of 22 and 23 being pretty dark according to the planets. It's all about Taurus energy. So what is Taurus energy? What does Taurus rule? Finances, money exchange, food distribution systems, agriculture, as well as safety and security. Safety in our homes. Taurus rules the home in that we like luxury and comfort and safety. This is the time that things that we have not wanted to look at, we're going to have to look at. Things that have been around us for many, many, many years that we've been in denial about will come to the light and have to be worked with. Think of it as a festering wound, and the bandage has been removed, and you've got to look at it. What's deep, dark, and hidden? What action has to come up to be seen, to be accepted, and to be healed? This is a very powerful, energetic time. I cannot say it enough. If you have been feeling stuck in some way, do some tapping. Do some tapping, the EFT. Look it up online and see how to do it, because it's very, very helpful, and it does help you release energy. We used to do the mind gems. I guess I'll have to do a little recording on the mind gems and show you how that works, because it does help. Do you remember the hand motions on American Bandstand, YMCA, and how everybody loved to do that dance? Well, you can do that tapping for yourself, and I know that you'll get some relief. And we have some other exercises at the end too that will be helpful to you. Another thing that I haven't talked about yet is that this moon is 4 degrees close to the North Node. Now, the North Node symbolizes our future. It symbolizes what we have to grow to. When you look at the birth chart, you look at the South Node and the North Node. I've always said that I just need those two and what houses they're in order to help people and guide them to what they're growing from in their past life to what they're growing to in their future life. And then you have to walk this path in this life to try to grow to your new reality. For example, my South Node is in Pisces, as is my Sun and Moon. And my North Node is in Virgo, right on my midheaven. And I have to learn to be organized, to finish what I start, to know what can bring money in and what might be wasteful, not to live in la la land, and to work hard for what I need to create. That's a Pisces Virgo South Node, North Node. So the North Node represents the future. Where are we all headed? Secrets have to come out, and we have to deal with them. We have to clean it up and get rid of all the lies, the deceits. You would be shocked if you knew some of what's going on right now and has been going on for years. We have to deal with it, but we have to deal with it collectively. All of us together. The communities need to support each one in the community and care about the people that need our help and care about the elderly and care about our schools and how our children are being educated. The community comes together as a solid energy when you put all those people together. It's a solid energy and it's almost impenetrable. And then we have to take that and communicate with the county and with the state and make it all in balance. It's coming, but it takes work. It also takes release of the ego and releasing and letting go and allowing new changes to come in gently, not forcefully, but by choice of everyone involved. Taurus rules freedom, human rights, expanding your network. Community needs to be strongly connected. We need to form strong bonds with people of like mind, particularly having to do with our food supply. Freedom and human rights are on our plate right now. Venus can bring a sudden change out of the blue in relationships. Banking, big business, digitalization of money, the blockchain technology. Jupiter and Saturn are both in Aquarius, and Pluto will be there soon in 2023. We are being inundated with new technology. This is a time when the intellect can be revered, leaving out the heart, leaving out the feelings of the heart, because there's no concern about our emotions in technology. And I always teach my people, emotions are important, logic is important. We need to remember that it is in our hearts. It's our hearts that connect us to the intergalactic system. It's our hearts that expand in love. Working with the 4th and the 10th chakra together can help us stay in the heart center. The heart center color has been changed. It is now yellow, a beautiful golden yellow, and the green has dropped down to the solar plexus. The solar plexus is our will, our desires. It is now green, and green represents healing. So we're having all of that healed and readjusted, and the heart center is the bright sun. So you bring a ray of light out the back up to the 10th chakra, which is above the 8th chakra over your head, and bring it down and around and back through the heart. So you have the physical heart center, you have the spiritual heart center. When you start running energy between the two of them, you create something called the circle of light. This is the most powerful healing energy that we now have on the planet. It has not been available to us before now, but it is here, and we can do wonders with it. The details and examples are in my book, The New Spiritual Chakras by Elizabeth Joyce, and you can find it on Amazon.com. Working with the 4th and 10th chakras together will help us stay in our heart center. It will resolve any unbalancing issues and keep us focused on things beyond technology. The heart is what stops a human from becoming cold and heartless. Technology does not know the difference. So there's a danger here. A short exercise can help you here. On a daily basis, take a few moments and imagine breathing in and breathing out. In, hold for 4, and then out. Try this a few minutes and begin running a circle out your back and up to the 10th chakra and then back down again. The heart center of the spiritual body joins with the heart center of the physical body. So your light body is enhancing your physical body. It's yellow, amber, back down to yellow, back up to amber. You can create a bright, glowing circle of light that will sustain and guide you through any set of circumstances. It is very uplifting, powerful, and it will keep you connected with the universal energies as well as the God source. And this is very important. If you have a baby and you're all under stress in the family, rock the baby in your arms and do the circle of light. And that baby will receive the energy, and it may even stop it from having colic and sleepless nights. You'd be surprised what it all can do. I also have offered all of my people something called Artists by the Crimson series. It's on the CD number 6, Artists, Healing, Prayer Beyond Prayer. If you play Artists and you run the circle of light, you're going to be in bliss. It's really something. That's where the magic is. So now we know that from November of 2021 through the beginning of 2024, we're going to bring in an energy that is revolutionary with shocks, surprises, secrets revealed, discoveries, and truth. And it continues on and on. And it's very jarring when that happens because you've had something that you believed for so long that's your truth, and now you're hearing something different. And of course you want to fight that until you look at it. And then you might decide, well, that probably is the truth. I guess I have to adjust. And you let go of judgments and you let go of fear. Remember, Uranus is the sword that cuts through the darkness. It removes much more. It takes us to the truth. It's like a piercing torch of light, much like your circle of light. This is all happening along with Mars conjunct the moon. The people will be assertive and angry while Uranus pierces through the truth. People are on a mission to achieve, to bring out the truth. There's a lot of people that are working to get this truth out. I know it will be upsetting, but it is something that we can't avoid. It's called the truth. It's not your truth. It's not my truth. It's the truth. And there's a big difference. So people have set a goal to bring out the truth all around the world. This is not going to stop. This is not going to go away. There's a lot of upsurge of energy. We have to stop the battles. We have to stop the murders. We have to stop the planning to hurt. We have to join together into harmony, let our talents and gifts grow, and live with peace, love, and harmony. That's what's in the heart center. Love, peace, harmony, along with laughter. And then you will know the joy of being one with the universe. All of this is very positive in the long run. The energy is on the North Node, our future. And what do we want to manifest? And what do we want to set up for our future? What do you want to set up for your living space? We have endings, we have new beginnings, and there's a lot of creativity coming out as the old ways break down and are removed. This is very positive for our future collective destiny. Having shed the old, we're building the new along with Jupiter in Aquarius. And we have some very powerful creative energy coming in, which is very futuristic and represents setting down some new social structures. Finally, the full moon in Taurus trines Pluto in Capricorn. This brings some very intense feelings. This is also a force that helps us to step up our inner power. One of the biggest focuses of Pluto in Capricorn is not simply dealing with corruptions of corporations and government. It is very much a force that shatters our fears, that removes our blocks, our running away. This energy brings us clarity and supports us in taking back our power. We are no longer subject to the lies, corruption, and subservient to the higher place rules that have been upon us. This energy is worldwide. We are taking back our power, and this is the outcome of these times. It is said that the meek will inherit the earth. I think we can do that collectively with our people, one heart at a time. So, here are some simple ways to manage life as we walk forward in these upsetting and jarring times. The first is to become conscious of what is happening around you. These are huge times to be creative and to settle into that which you want to be in your future. Are you a caregiver, a teacher, a leader, an activist, or are you simply shining your beautiful light of love? That light is very nurturing and sustaining, and is a very strong role for you to play. Other people will catch the light, and it will bring in clarity and help them take a heads up and to look at their own power and bring it to themselves. Begin consciously. Are you going to look back and smile at the role you played, say 10 years from now? Oh, I went through that change. It was very difficult, but I realized what was coming: inner joy, freedom, and love. If you are in the victim mode, you will find that there will always be bullies in your life. It will continue, even when you go into your next life, unless you can ascend into the light of self-love and abundance. When you are in empowerment, you won't have any bullies in your life anymore. It just doesn't happen. The higher frequency people will lift up the lower frequency people, not the other way around. So here it is. We've got a high frequency person and a low frequency person comes into the room. And this is what happens. So the higher frequency lends his light to the lower frequency and brings them up. And then the higher frequency replenishes through meditation and breath work. And he meets another one. And it goes like this. That's amazing. So that when someone is in your presence, suppose you had 50 people in your presence. Can you imagine the work that could be done? The hearts that could be open? Now you may pass on your way and go home and be exhausted, but you can replenish. You know how. You've got this. And you know what? We now have technology that can measure all this, the vibrational frequency. So if you're at 500, love comes into your heart. If you're at 700, then you become empowered and enlightened. If you have one person in a room of, say, 300 people, it will counterbalance their negativity, their lower energy, and bring them up a peg or two. If you have somebody operating at 500 megahertz, and there's a lot of people in the room, you can bring up 90,000 people that have a 250 or lower, that are in anger, guilt, shame, and fear, and could be being harmful to others. And all you have to do is just be in the room with your light, and you can lift it up. That those emotions can fade away. They'll just melt, and the person will have a consciousness change. If you have one person operating at 700, they can continue to balance and counterbalance over 70 million people at the same time. Wish they could all be in the same room. I remember being with Amma, who has her megahertz probably at 1200 or 15 or way beyond that. And she said, give me 1,000 people and I can change the world. So our bodies are strong. Our bodies are like antennas of light. It's beyond electricity. It's beyond the technology that we have now. It comes from the universe, from the center of our galaxy. And it can bring us up and everyone around us. And that includes our little animals and our pets. Isn't it wonderful? So, you can become that person. You can become the person that has a 700 or above vibration. What a role that would be at this time of transformation. You can become a frequency master. What a role that would be. And you would participate in saving the world. It's time to understand how raising our frequency can change the world. Astrology gives you the map. The movement of the planets gives us sheer potential. It gives us the energy. It's like a song not yet written or a tune not yet played. When we begin to interact with the energies of our own frequency, then our reality begins to come into being. We can remove or eradicate the old, and we can raise our consciousness, and we can raise up to be a new human being. Some people call it transformation, and other people call it a deeply penetrating spiritual experience. But your consciousness is really changed, and you're not the same as you were. And you never go back, you only go up. So, let me try to explain it a little better. We can play our music on an old, rusty Victrola. Remember that word? Or we can raise it up and play it on the Boise sound system of perfection, magnificently. Yes, astrology is your energy map at birth, but all this energy is waiting to be activated. Yes, astrology is your energy map at birth, but all this astrology is energy waiting to be activated, enabling the soul to grow as we walk through our path in life. This is why music can heal and remove headaches and allow you to sleep and bring peace to the heart. It raises your frequency. Ardus helps to raise your frequency. And there is a website. It's richheartmusic.com and Ascension Harmonics. And Richard Schulman's work is magnificent. He activates your vibration as you raise your frequency. To me, this is very exciting, and it's the key to manifestation. As we create our life using frequency vibrations, we learn that the future is not fated, it is not set, it is not determined, and there is not one side going one place to win and another side going to another place to lose. We are a collective humanity, and we can change all those negative thoughts. We really can. This, to me, is very empowering, and it is a part of procreation. We have all had to pick up the guitar, play the piano, or play a drum, or perhaps a flute, whatever your frequency is drawn to. Most of us love music.
There's a new world coming, and it's just around the bend. There's a new world coming, this one's coming to an end. There's a new voice calling, you can hear it if you try, and it's growing stronger with each day that passes by.
Many of our planets are in fixed signs now. This gives us resilience, determination to set our goals and achieve them. It can also cause us to feel stuck, as if we're walking through mud. The next step has to come along in its own time and in its own way. We do need something to hang on to as everything seems to be crumbling around us. So we've got to go beyond the destruction to get to the reconstruction. As all of this is going on, we need to pull back, work on raising your frequency, and on deepening your meditation. Learn to work with the new spiritual chakras, and that will help to pull you up significantly. As a matter of fact, on my website, new-visions.com, I have the opening to the 8th chakra meditation, and Richard and I have created the new spiritual chakra affirmation. As you stand in the circle of light, you listen to the music and the meditation, and it is absolutely incredible. Very, very powerful. Another exercise that can help you is the Kundalini Yoga breath work. Take time, several times a day, to work with your breath work, especially when you're waking up. Now, this is very special, And this will help you gain ascension. And it also will bring you some little extras along the way. So, you're waking up very gently, without pushing or forcing. Take in a breath. And we're going to use numbers here, because numbers are also another universal piercing sword. They work real well. Take a breath on the count of 2. Then hold the breath for the count of 4. And then allow the out breath to be a little bit longer. So count like to 3. In on 2, hold on 4, out on 3. Be gentle with yourself. Again, no pushing. Do that 2 or 3 times, and then take a breath and let's expand the numbers. Let's go to 3. In breath on 3, hold 4, and out breath on 5 or 6. Do that for 3 or 4 times, and then let it go. And then another time during the day, do the same thing. I like you to do it 3 times in a row, because that is the maximum effect. But just doing it once in the ladies' room, if you're tired, you're falling asleep at work in the afternoon, go in the ladies' room and do the breath work. It only takes a few seconds, and you will be refreshed. Now remember, be gentle with yourself. No pushing, no forcing. And on the out breath, you want to just linger at the end. Linger like there's a space. Like there's an open space between breath 1 and breath 2. Take in 1, 2, and then go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then release it, 1, 2, 3, and then maybe hold it for 4. And then take your next breath. It's the spacing between the numbers and the spacing between the breaths that hold the key. They hold the magic. And you'll be very surprised at what will begin to happen once you start to master this. You are actually changing your physiology with this exercise. You're changing your blood flow, you're changing your cortisol levels, etc., etc. Very slowly and gradually, see if you can extend the breath each time. Maybe do the 3 and then go to 4 or 6. Extend the breath as much as you can. And pause at the end of it. Do this every day, a couple of times. This is where the magic happens. And because you have just woken up, you are relaxed. You have not yet taken on the energies of the day, and you're open. Remember to be gentle with yourself at all times. Be gentle. Allow this to happen. This is where you are in the present moment. This helps you to be in the moment. You're only focusing on your breath. Nothing else is in the mind. Just your breath, in and out. This exercise brings you into the present moment. You cannot be anywhere else if you have focus on the breath. Those spaces, those gaps between the breath is where you can drop into a space of peace and bliss. When you establish a deep place of bliss, you are in a very high frequency. This is all free. Hey, there's no money to pay out. There's no classes to come to. There's no seminars to spend a weekend at. This is very powerful. And more so if you play Ardas softly while doing this exercise. Do the exercise as often as you can throughout the day. As the body gets used to the exercise and the changes in the physiology, you will have different life experience. You will feel much stronger, you will feel healthier, and you will feel more energetic. You are finally taking control of you. That space between the breath is where the magic happens, and it's because it removes the force of desire and feelings of frustration and inadequacy. It is truly a gift from God. Watch your life change as you bring that which you desire well within it. It's also healing, It can help with arguments around you. It can help with your children. It can help with your relationships. It's a good exercise. It'll help you a lot. And this is vital this next year. Just know that when the mind is focused, wonderful things can happen. When more and more of us do this as a daily routine, think of how much the world will change. Maybe this is the first step to world peace. Wouldn't that be something? World peace. There's a new world coming for you and me. It's our holiday season. It's the time of love, the time of giving, the time of showing our affections. Don't be afraid. Take control of you. Do a little of the work and see what joy it brings. Joy to the world. This is Elizabeth Joyce with Visions of Reality. The website is new-visions.com. If you'd like to make a call to ask a question or book some time with me, the 24-hour answering service is 201-934-8986. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time. Please click like and please click subscribe so that we can get this up and out on YouTube so that many people around the world can learn and be informed about what's coming. Thank you.
There's a new world coming, and it's just around the bend. There's a new world coming. This one's coming to an end. There's a new voice calling. You can hear it if you try. And it's growing stronger with each day that passes by. There's a brand new morning, rising clear and sweet and free. There's a new day dawning that belongs to you and me. Yes, a new world's coming, the one we've had visions of, coming in peace, coming in joy.